Awesome.
Still not showing up?
It looks like.
Okay.
Oh, it's coming.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. How you doing? How you
Yes.
doing?
I am doing superb.
Oh wait, I got this shirt on with somebody else's logo. That's not cool. I can't be advertising these guys for free. Let's see, what's this? Oh, that's another company. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Let me move this out of the way. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I saw your name and I saw your name and I recognized your name, but I couldn't put a face to the name until like right now. Oh, my son wants to say hi. Say hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Say
How are
hi.
you?
Say hi. Are you gonna say hi? No hi. You're just gonna stare. Okay, cool. You take him and close it up.
Too cute.
Say bye bye. Say bye bye.
Bye, Noah.
Bye. Uh-oh. I know.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason. Oh wait, no, I turned down the sound. Okay, we're good. So how you doing?
I am doing superb.
Awesome. I like Superb. Superb is great.
Yes. I was browsing on Stitcher and I was like, I see this face and I'm like, I know this guy. And, I told my husband, I was like, this guy, trust me, honey, I know this guy. I mean,
He looks familiar.
yeah, he looks real familiar. So like the next day I get back on Stitcher, I'm like, okay, let me just listen to the voice. When I listen to the voice, I was like, okay, I know for a fact, I know this guy.
Oh man, yeah. So what are you doing online? I see something about newbie goes viral. What's that about?
Yes, I actually started up my initially it was just started up as a more of a concept of a project for people that were in internet marketing that were struggling, and I decided to go from more of to make it a hub for people who are struggling in internet marketing. And this is where I'll be connecting experts to people who are struggling so that they have the right resources, the right information. Basically a one-stop shop for everything that you needed in internet marketing.
Gotcha. And how's that going? When did you start it?
I as of like a month, just started, and getting some contracts together, speaking with different people that are experts in their field. Last week, well, no, Easter, I spoke with Terry Clay, and she's big with motivational speaking and very big on video marketing.
Okay.
And it was superb. I enjoyed myself with her, and I am aiming to do more video connections with people. Gotcha. Lots of aspirations there, actually.
No, I hear that. Aspirations are good.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did you transfer from university to blogger, and successful blogger at that?
But actually, the university came because of the blogging. I was teaching at a high school, and I wanted to. Well, I got bored with the stuff that I was teaching because I always wanted to be a university professor, but I don't have a PhD. So I was like, no, I didn't feel like going the typical PhD route. So I just decided I was gonna teach online type of a thing. And I had been doing internet marketing and that kind of stuff for a little while before that. So I learned about blogging. I learned about all that stuff. And I was doing kind of the same type of a niche where I'm teaching people to make an online business and that kind of stuff. And then I said, hey, I'll apply that to biology because that's what I studied. So I started to do that for biology, and that kind of grew and kind of just took off. And as a result of that, that's how I got the job teaching here back at Andrews now. And I'm actually leaving my job at the end of June to just do this online stuff full time.
Fabulous. Because not too many people can actually turn a hobby into a profitable business.
Yeah.
I mean, where did you get your actual first time? Because a lot of people dabble with internet marketing and they don't successfully get the traffic. I mean, how did you get the traffic you needed, the resources you needed to actually kickstart? Or did you just have an avatar so targeted that people just were able to find you?
Wait, so is this like the interview or this is the preamble?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Oh, my bad. I didn't even realize we were interviewing. All right. So that's a question that I can answer in so many different directions. So when I first started, I was actually doing something called freebie trading. Those websites where you sign up for an offer and then you get other people to complete offers and then you get a free iPod and that kind of stuff.
CPAs.
Yeah. So I was doing that first, but I was doing it. There were sites that instead of getting free stuff, you could get money too. So I kind of grew that. And the way I started to grow that in terms of getting traffic is I was very active in a forum that's related to freebie trading. Mm-hmm. And I was very helpful in the forum. So people started to get to know who I was and all that kind of stuff. So when I actually started my blog, people already knew who I was from what I was doing there. So I kind of transferred those connections over to the blog, and they started following me, and that kind of gave me an initial kind of jump start. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, just networking with other people, being on other people's interviews, guest posting some, I was doing that, and a number of different things to build the internet marketing aspect of what I'm doing. A lot of it having to do with just networking, connecting with people. If you meet someone, you go to conferences and all that kind of stuff, you connect with them and all that kind of stuff. And as a result of that, you can kind of grow together. And that's what happened with that blog. With my biology blog, which is Interactive Biology, which is a totally different website, I use YouTube. And I created a bunch of short videos. I was making like 3 to 5 videos a week, and I put them on YouTube, and that people go to YouTube and they search for all kinds of stuff. So when they're searching, the more content I have, the higher the likelihood that they're actually going to find me. And then from those videos, I'm directing them back to my blog. On every single video, at the end, I say something like, "Hey, if you like this video and you want more resources to help make biology fun, visit the blog at interactivebiology.com." And people come to the blog that way. And then also it was with that, even it was connecting with other people, helping other people, and eventually people saying, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I'm going to link to you." And it just kind of like a ripple effect. The more you do and the more connections you make, the more helpful you try to be, the more people that find your stuff.
Yes. So you were just jam-packed with value in the marketplace, and it just more of attraction marketing.
That's really what it is. The more value, if you know who your target audience is and you can provide a ton of value to that target audience, the next thing is just going out there and letting them know, hey, it's available. If if you're looking for something desperately, all right, let's say you're struggling in your biology class and oh man, I just need to know how to pass this stupid physiology exam. I'm struggling. I can't understand the professor. And then I show you this website and it has the answers to your questions. It makes things simple. It's valuable to you. And as a result of that, you're going to want to consume it even more. You're going to sign up. If there's something that you can buy, you're going to buy, and all those types of things, because it's valuable to you. And that's the key.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did you get started in podcasting, and what effect did the podcasting do for your blogs?
Man, how did I get started in podcasting? I should know that answer. I know I started to listen to a number of podcasts. And one of the things that I've always been interested in is recording engineering. I did a recording engineering certification, and I like audio. I love everything to do with audio. If I move my camera around right now, you're gonna see this is my mixer here with my studio monitors and my other monitor over here and my microphone. So this is equipment that I had before. I probably shouldn't be moving this around during the interview, but this equipment that I had before because I enjoy that kind of stuff. And when I started to listen to podcasts about internet marketing, I thought to myself, hey, I could do that. I know a little bit about internet marketing. And I started it. And the effects that it has had is your audience really gets to know you. If you make a YouTube video and that YouTube video is longer than 5 minutes, people are like, I don't even know if I want to press play. That thing is so long. But I could record a podcast episode for an hour, and people will listen to that from beginning to end. So they really get to know you kind of on a deeper level. They're hearing your voice. So it's not like, someone comes to a blog post, they see, oh, that's cool. They check the headlines and they leave. But when they're listening to your voice, they can tell if you're excited. They can tell if you're sad. They can get a better understanding of who you are as a person. And once you get people to really connect with who you are as a person and believe in what you believe, that's a powerful thing. So podcasting, man, it's probably the favorite thing, my favorite thing that I do online, because of the way you're able to connect with people on a different level.
Yes. Wow. That is awesome, because, the value of someone's voice, or just even video, and people feeling like they already know you.
Exactly.
How I know that you went to an event in March, and how did that event, was at this like social media?
Yes, I did go to that.
Yes. How did that event even did it explode your business, your blogs even more?
It didn't explode my business directly. What it did is, once again, it allowed me to connect with some new people. It allowed me to solidify connections that I had already developed with people. I mean, my mastermind group, we meet once a week. and it's 5 of us in the mastermind group. 4 of us were there, so I was able to connect with them and meet people as a result of being connected with them. One of the guys in my mastermind group is the one that put together the conference. So I was able to connect with a bunch of new people in ways that, you can't put a monetary value on that. Not just that, but the knowledge that you gain from attending these conferences and learning more about what you're doing online or what you would like to do online. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of value. So I got value in terms of the connections. I got value in terms of the information in terms of new ideas of things that I can implement, how to manage my business even better. I learned a lot about that just by seeing how the conference was put together, and it was extremely well put together. So, I mean, for me, the benefits of going to an actual conference, man, they're huge, especially if you fully take advantage of it. So it was great. I've been to a number of conferences. I've spoken at a number of conferences, and each time I just get so much from being there.
Okay. So how did you actually get into work? Did you first started going off into conferences as, you paid to go to attend a conference, or eventually did it just develop as people were requesting you because you were so valuable to the marketplace?
The first conference I went to was probably 2 years ago, and I was actually invited to come to speak on the topic of podcasting. Then basically all of the conferences I've been to, except for this one, are conferences that I spoke at. So it's a combination of being requested to speak at the conferences, and I think maybe 1 or 2 that I actually submitted an application, because you go through this. Well, actually, all of them you go through an application process, but some of them you're invited to go through the application process with the understanding of, you're gonna be speaking here. So most of the time when I do attend conferences, it's because I'm invited to speak.
Okay, so what were some of the mistakes that you made when you first began blogging?
Oh man, where should I start? So many mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first started is trying to do everything myself.
Woo!
And I understand money is always an issue. Well, not always an issue. Evidently, for some people, money isn't an issue, but it was for me. But still, there were things that I was doing and spending so much of my time. There's no reason why I should be designing my logo or designing my blog and that kind of stuff. But I was still doing that because I knew how to use Photoshop and all that stuff. So I would spend a ton of hours trying to get things just right, not knowing what in the world I'm doing, but I'm doing it still. As opposed to later on when I started to get help. I started to outsource and get people to do things for me so that I could focus on the things that are more important. That is probably, I would say, the biggest mistake that I made, because I was spending so much time on my business. I didn't have time for myself. I didn't have time for my wife. I didn't have time for anything because I'm working a full-time job and I'm doing this business thing. So whenever I'm not doing the full-time job thing, I'm doing this business thing and everything else is suffering. So I would think that is the biggest mistake that I made. Another mistake that I'm realizing that I made is, there's a concept that I've promoted of when you're building a blog and you're building a business, don't worry about selling anything in the beginning. Just provide value. And now that I've come this far, I've started to see the value of learning to sell even from the beginning. Number one, if all you're doing is giving away stuff for free, that's what your audience expects. So when you try to make that transition to now you're promoting things, it's like, wait, everything is supposed to be free. You're training them to expect something, and then all of a sudden you want them to give something different. And not only that, but selling well and selling ethically, I think it's something that you learn. I mean, maybe some people are natural. I'm not a natural salesman. And I hate the typical salesman of, hey, this is what I have to sell and I'm going to promote it to everyone and that's not what it's about. It's about providing so much value and giving people a way to pay you back for some of that value. if they find value in it, they will be willing to pay, or at least some of them will be willing to pay for some of the things that you offer. And there's something about practicing that from the beginning I think is significant.
Okay. So what are some of the products that you personally have created and that you sell?
Products that I've created, I have a premium course that teaches people how to blog and to turn that into a business. I have a premium plus course that includes the premium course and additional courses on affiliate marketing, product creation, product launch, list building, outsourcing. I think those are all the topics. Yeah, so those are all the courses that I've created. So it's 6 courses, I guess.
Wow, that is amazing. And what's the time frame that you started? That now that you're successful, well, let me ask this. When from the time you started and to the moment that you realized that you hit success at blogging, what was the timeline?
I'm still trying to reach that moment because I don't feel like I've hit success. I think that a lot of the things that I've done have been successful. I mean, my second month blogging, I actually, yeah, I guess so my second month blogging, I did a big affiliate promotion and that generated like $3,000. And when that happened, I thought to myself, man, this is awesome, you know? So I think the success concept, I don't consider myself to be successful as yet. I consider myself to be growing. I look at this kind of as a journey. I have not arrived. I have not made it or anything of that sort. I am learning on this journey. And the more I learn, hopefully the better I do. The better I do, the more I learn. So I just don't look at it as this arrived thing. I think a lot of people have that mentality of, all right, I've made it, I've arrived. And you can see that. For me, it's not about arriving. It's about being on a journey and helping as many people on the journey as possible.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That is important. Definitely is. So do you have any sponsors right now?
Sponsors? No, I don't do sponsors. I don't know if that's something that I do in the future. Mm-hmm. I prefer to, you know, when you come to my site for a specific purpose. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I'm doing is building out more and more products. Mm-hmm. If I do things well, those products are going to be sold well. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, I don't know that I necessarily need sponsors. In the future, it's something that I might consider. I don't want to make it seem as if, you know, sponsors are beneath me. No, not at all. It's mm-hmm. just, what's the monetization model that you're choosing for your business? And sponsors has not been my monetization model. Mm-hmm. I'll be more likely to do that with my biology blog. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not 100% sure as yet whether that's something that I'm going to do, but it's something that I've thought about and will probably continue to think about.
So what's the next level? What's the next plan for Leslie Samuel and become a blogger and, you know, your other blogs that you have out there?
At the end of this school, well, not the end of the school year because I just ended. June 30th is my last day teaching as a university professor. Mm-hmm. After that, I'm going to be fully self-employed, and that's going to be an interesting experience. So the next step for me is to figure that out. I want to be to where my business is generating enough money that I don't have to worry about finances. Mm-hmm. Not just that, but I could help out people much more than I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. I can help out my family. I can help out my extended family, friends that are in need or people that are in need. I want to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think I know what I'm doing online is going to enable me to do that. And that's something that I'm excited about. So next step is just, you know, continuing to grow the business. I'm probably going to be doing much more in terms of speaking at conferences and speaking
All
at
right.
events and that kind of stuff, and just helping people to get their stuff online going in a way. For me, it's not just about making money. My slogan is changing the world one blog at a time. And I believe that people have ideas that they can share that can help others. And the more you put those ideas out there and the more you get to teach people, to help people, you're changing the world. So that's kind of like my mission. I want people to see that they can do something significant, and I want to be able to provide them with the resources to do it.
Yes. You just touched on family. Now, what happened when you decided to go into blogging? Did you mention it to any of your family members? Did they balk at, oh, blogging, what's that? Like, were they supportive of it? Do they even know what it is now? Do they know what you're doing? Or it's like a distant kind of thing?
Many of them, a lot of people don't understand what I'm doing. My wife, even for a while, didn't really know what I was doing. Because how do you make money blogging? That's what most people like. You get money to blog? Well, people pay you to blog? No, nobody doesn't pay me to blog, because a blog isn't really a business. What you do, a blog can help to grow a business, but if you don't have a business, you don't have a business. So it's still one of those things that's relatively new to many people. Now, there's nobody in my family or friends that were unsupportive of me doing this. They just didn't really understand it. When I talk to my parents, and they, every once in a while they're like, so like how do you make, like, how are you gonna make money with this thing? And then I'd explain to them, and my dad would be like, well, I still don't understand, but hey, if it works for you, it works for you. And that's kind of generally the response. Obviously it's working, and if that's the case, then more power to you. And so I think a big part of my family's response to it is, number one, they see that it's having a positive impact on people. Number two, they see that I'm able to make some money from it. Number three, they see how many people are interacting with the content, and they say, hey, obviously what you're doing is working, so go forth and do.
Wow, this is amazing, because it's like you do what most people are trying to do, which is, get away from their day jobs. And you found a way to find something that you're passionate about, accrue some income from it, and get the freedom from it as well.
And that's the interesting part, because I didn't really care to leave my job. It wasn't really, maybe long term, but it's not something that I was thinking about. It's not, man, let me start this thing so that I no longer have to go to a job or anything of that sort. If you asked me last year if I'd be leaving my job, I'd be like, no, I'm not leaving my job. I love my job. I teach and I enjoy teaching. So why am I leaving my job? And I actually started a PhD back last year, because that's a requirement for my job, and they were paying for the PhD. So it's a free PhD. I'm doing a job that I love. What's the problem? But things changed in my mind over the last few months, and I decided, I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to help out my family at home and travel down there and spend some time out of the country if I need to, and so on. So it's interesting. It wasn't my goal to leave my job at the end of this year, but that's the way it worked out. And now that I'm reaching closer to it, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the possibility. Of course, there's risk involved. Of course, sometimes you get a little nervous. A few weeks ago, I went into my job, and we're just finishing building a new lab, a new anatomy lab, and I designed the lab and all that kind of stuff, and then sent on the plans, and we've been working back and forth, and now the lab is pretty much done, and now I'm leaving. So I walked into the lab, and I saw this big, nice anatomy lab, which is the nicest lab I've seen in my life. And it's kind of like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna be the one using this lab. What am I doing? Am I crazy? I'm leaving. I'm doing this entrepreneurial stuff. What in the world? I have benefits here. I don't have benefits here. What am I gonna? You see? So sometimes you get a little nervous. But for me personally, I'm the guy that I feel like if I feel that God is leading me somewhere, that's where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And even if things don't look exactly how they're supposed to look, I don't care, because if that's where I'm supposed to be, that's where I'm going. So, it's an interesting journey. Like I said in the beginning, it's a journey. It's not a destination, but it is a journey.
Awesome, awesome. Because I guess you'd have to have some sort of risk taker part in you. What was the motivation for you to actually step out in faith and go for it with the blog? I mean, I know you had a course of action where you were trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But what motivated you to just stay in there?
To stay in there?
Yes.
Man, when I started, I had some early success that I don't know if it brainwashed me or what. The first day that I started internet marketing, I made $70. And that's with the freebie trading stuff. And from that moment, I saw that it was possible. And once I saw it, it was as if, okay, if I can make $70 on my first day, and I don't want anyone to think that that is anywhere close to normal. It was a weird time when it was possible to do things like that. It's not as possible to do that now.
Yeah.
But because I saw some income come from it,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it was possible for income to come from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, I told you that, I was doing everything and all that kind of stuff in the beginning. And at a certain point, I decided, you know what, forget this. I am done. And I literally gave up. So that giving up that you're talking about, I did it. And I stopped. I stopped blogging. I stopped doing anything that I was doing before. And I just said, you know what, I'm done. And what happened next really amazed me. I continued to make money. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything right now. Why is money coming in? And then I realized, well, because I had worked so hard before, I had set systems in place. And those systems, to a certain extent, were working. So then I started to think to myself, well, if I continue to set systems in place, then I could continue to see money when I'm not working because of the work that I'd done before. I could leverage my past efforts for future profits. And as a result of that, I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that I decide to do something and that's it. The decision is already made. So there's kind of like no turning back. You just got to do it. And seeing that it was possible and seeing that it was possible to make money based on your past efforts, I think that was all the motivation I needed. I remember the first time I made enough money to buy a living room set, and my wife came home, and all of a sudden I said, surprise, and it was a living room set in the living room. That felt so good to be able to actually do that. So it's a bunch of little things along the way that just kept me motivated and saying, you know what, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And then with my biology blog, I literally have, if I go into my inbox for my biology blog and I go into the testimonials folder and I see the emails that people send to me, I literally have thousands of emails from people all over the world letting me know how this website, these videos are changing their lives. Mm-hmm. When I see that, I could say, man, should I give up on this? No, how can I give up on this if you're telling me that you live in this remote country with no access to education, and you're struggling to understand this because you want to be a doctor and you couldn't understand it before, and now you found my videos and now you have the hope that you can be a doctor. I can't stop that. I can't just say, you know what, forget about it, I'm done. I can't do that because to me, there's so much riding on it. And now that, I'm leaving my job, there's even more riding on it because my family have to eat, evidently. My wife and my son, they like food. So I gotta be able to provide for them. Yes. So, there's just a bunch of little things that have kept me going along the way. And I think the little successes in the beginning played a big role. And I think just knowing that in order to accomplish anything significant, you gotta bust your behind to do it. There are gonna be setbacks, and I've had a lot of setbacks, but I gotta do this. I gotta keep working. I gotta keep taking action. And now that I've been doing this for so long, and now there are so many people watching, it's not just that I gotta do it for myself now, but I gotta do it for those people that are watching, so that they can see that it's possible, so that they can see, even though I went through all those struggles, I was able to make it happen. And if I was able to make it happen, maybe they're able to make it happen too. And that can motivate them. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle, I guess.
So, okay, what would you tell somebody that that's not really sure what they kind of know that they want to blog or they want to start a podcast? What advice would you give to that person?
You don't have to have everything figured out yet. And you'll probably never have everything figured out. When I started, I was blogging about freebie trading. I don't even want to hear anything about freebie trading today. However, if I never started with freebie trading, I wouldn't be where I am today. So what you start with is not necessarily what you're gonna end up with. But the act of starting does something significant. The act of taking action does something, because at every point, hopefully, you're learning in the process. And the more you learn, the better you can, you tweak a little here, you tweak a little there, and eventually, hey, wait, I did make $1. And when you see that you can make $1, then you can see that if it's possible to make $1, it's possible to make 2, and then it's possible to make 10, and then 100, and then 1,000, then 10,000. It just becomes more realistic the more you do it. So I guess you don't have to have everything figured out now, but you do have to keep taking action. I heard a quote just yesterday, and I don't remember what the quote is, but the gist of the quote is this. Success is not something you own, it's something you rent, and the rent is due every day. And when I heard that, I had to post it on Facebook, because I said, man, that's good. That's good stuff right there. And it's true. Success is never owned. It's only rented, and the rent is due every day. And this is by Southwestern, the company Southwestern, a consulting company or something of that sort. And that's the truth. In order to succeed at what you're trying to succeed, you have to show up. You have to continue doing it. You have to continue working on it. And it's not something that's easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be successful. But you know what? Everybody isn't successful, because everybody's not going to take the type of action that you need to take in order to be successful. So if you're trying to be successful, you have to make up in your mind that you are going to be the person that's going to continue to take the consistent action. You're going to continue to pay that rent every single day until you've accomplished success. And, I don't know that there's going to be one point where you can say, okay, now I'm successful. Well, maybe there is. And when I reach that point, maybe I'll know. But as of right now, in my mindset, success is a journey. It's a journey to helping people. It's a journey to accomplishing your goals. It's a journey.
Awesome. So, where can I actually find your blogging course? Where can I be mentored at? Wise one.
Wise one? Is somebody behind me? You can go to becomeablogger.com. It's that simple. There you'll get, I have my podcast there, and there's a lot that I share in the podcast. You could build a business just by listening to the podcast, honestly. Then I have articles. I have a bunch of resources available on the blog. Then there's my premium course. That's available there too. Well, it will be available there too. I just moved to a new server, so I'm in the process of converting a bunch of stuff over. So if they listen to this like right now, they might not be able to see it, but in a few days, that's going to be available there, and they can check it out. That's it. Becomeablogger.com.
All right. Well, Leslie, it has been a wonderful experience, and good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
2000 and when did I leave Andrews? 2004. It's been 2 years.
Oh wow! So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, that's a decade.
Yes.
Oh man, we're getting old.
Now.
We're getting old.
Yeah, actually, my birthday is actually this month, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting up there.
I hear you.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. I thank you so much for gracefully accepting and just taking the time to share with me your experiences. And I just love how you have made it so lively with putting the actual stories to it. You know, I can visualize and just actually be there. It's been wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Definitely become a blogger.com. I mean, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with me.
All right. You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye.